Every day, 1 million barrels of crude oil are pumped out of the Bakken oil fields. A volume so large and production has increased so fast that there are not enough pipelines to transport it. Over 415,000 tank carloads travel on rail lines an average distance of 1,000 miles every day. Through heavily populated communities, oil so volatile it presents major issues for residents and response personnel. Today, the Disaster News Network explores the issues surrounding Bakken oil. An oil boom is currently underway in Montana and North Dakota. Parts of those states rest on top of the Bakken oil formation, one of the most prolific in the world. Once extracted, this oil is shipped in rail cars over long distances to coastal refineries. In 2008, only 9,500 rail car loads were transported. Today, that number has increased 4,000%, making unit trains a common sight. A unit train carries the same product to the same destination and can transport 2.5 million gallons of oil. Now, those shipments are under scrutiny by local communities, state legislators, and federal regulators, as fiery crashes and massive explosions have illuminated the danger of this cargo. The worst accident was in Quebec last year when a train carrying Bakken crude derailed and exploded in a small town, killing 47 people. The U.S. Transportation Secretary Anthony Fox says it's time for some changes.
The bottom line is that we're going to be very clear that we need a new world order on how this stuff moves.
That new world order has been outlined in proposed rulemaking released in late July 2014 that includes giving oil shippers 2 years to either retrofit the older rail cars or stop using them altogether. Specifically, it proposes to phase out the older DOT 111 tank cars, known as the Pintos of the railroad. Those cars will have to either be taken out of commission or retrofitted to comply with the new standards. Other provisions would restrict rail speed to 40 miles per hour and require enhanced braking systems.
Out of all the options our rule presents, it is mine and our department's preference to go with the one that's safest for communities along these routes and for the men and women operating these trains.
The Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration concurrently released a report summarizing their analysis of Bakken crude oil. The data show that oil from the Bakken region is more volatile and flammable than other crude oils. This finding has led some to suggest that standards should be released to require stabilization and processing before shipment. The American Petroleum Institute, a Washington-based lobbying group for the oil industry, however, disputes this. They disagree that it is more volatile, calling that speculation. The API spokesperson stated, "We have not seen any data to suggest processing crude in the field reduces risk." The proposed rule also suggests codifying the Department of Transportation's May 2014 emergency order. That order requires railroads transporting more than 1 million gallons of Bakken crude oil to notify state emergency response commissions or other appropriate state delegated entities about the operation of these trains through their states. Where do citizens and local first responders fit with all of this? Even with the new proposed regulations, they are still concerned.
Here we have hundreds of rail cars sitting within a few feet of people's residences and daycare centers. It's just a horrifying catastrophe waiting to happen.
It is clear this debate will not be over anytime soon. The Disaster News Network will continue to follow this issue and will report any developments as they occur.